Old St. Mary's Cathedral was the very first cathedral in the West, not only in California. It was built in 1854, and it's the first church in the world dedicated to Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, because it was dedicated on Christmas Eve, December 24th of 1854, 16 days after that became the dogma of the church. We came here on December 8th of 1894, and this was the very second Paulist foundation. So we came from our mother house in New York City at St. Paul the Apostle, and those Paulists came around the tip of Latin America in a boat and arrived here to assume the ministry. They had done some missions in the San Francisco area, which is why the Paulists had been invited to come here. And then it was the earthquake. The church survived the earthquake, but the very next day the fires came up the hill because there wasn't infrastructure in the city to provide for fires at that point. Ultimately, the outside walls, the front wall, and the tower all remained, but everything else basically was gutted, and it took a little over 3 years to rebuild the church.
I've been with this community since 1991. At the very beginning, we have a parish called Holy Family Parish, and which is also under the Paulist Fathers.
That was actually a distinct ministry up on Stockton Street. That building was ultimately sold. It also contained St. Mary's Chinese School. There were sisters that taught in the school, but it was a school that the Paulists started to serve the Chinese community.
So right now, I'm in this new identity called Old St. Mary's Cathedral / Chinese Mission.
I'm actually, at this point, the only Paulist that's full-time on the staff. The other priests are in what we call senior ministry.
I'm the liturgical coordinator for the parish. So I work, I make sure all the books are set up, do any printing, things of that nature to make sure liturgy goes well here.
I'm the one who's responsible for putting an article together each week for the bulletin, and usually I'll put them on Facebook.
I chat up a lot of the young adults who come up and down the hill, the ones that are still coming to the office. They're also interested in our outreach to people who are living in assisted living.
We used to have a much larger staff. We used to have a bookstore and gift shop that operated for 92 years, but unfortunately during the pandemic we had to close that.
We had two big hits in the past during COVID. One was the lack of tourists, and one was the lack of the downtown community.
We used to have 3 Sunday morning masses, and we scaled back to 2.
The pandemic, stopped people to coming to the church, gather face to face.
About 75% of our people on weekends are tourists. And for our daily masses at 12:05, we rely a lot on the financial community. And so both of those numbers are way down.
That really hurt, I think not just our community, every community, even church or non-church communities.
I don't think it's about numbers. It's about serving a community well.
We're right on the edge of Chinatown and on the edge of the business districts.
The Chinese are incredibly thankful and supportive of us. So I think we really have to honor their presence here.
The Chinese mission has been a part of Old St. Mary since its very beginning. It went through a lot of changes over the years.
I consider myself a Chinese, and even though coming from Hong Kong, I love Chinese culture, first of all.
They are very faithful, and they are the ones that are really into the community. So when we have a dinner, the Chinese community is always there.
They're very generous, and if they don't have money, and they will put up a lot of time to help.
清潔下聖堂嘅嗰啲聖像啊、聖體櫃啊、同埋啲凳啊，有陣時抹下個地啊，即係吸下啲塵咧，希望啲人入到嚟咧唔會感到一陣噏味，舒服啲啦。
Most of the weekday parishioners would be people working in the business district just down the hill. On the weekends, we would have both the Chinese community and our faithful members for many, many years.
I have been coming here since 1977. This is the warmest, finest church that I've been in.
We also serve many tourists.
There are some Sundays when a majority of our congregation are all tourists.
After the church, we always have this gathering fellowship in the auditorium. Father John, he always shows up and chat with parishioners.
We also do a very vital ministry for engaged couples.
It's a great way for us to outreach ecumenically, because almost every time we have one of these things, Catholic Jewish, Catholic Hindu, Catholic Muslim, Catholic Protestant.
We do have groups of Buddhists and Hindus and stuff who come here and offer classes or informational sessions about that.
The parish they're just wonderful people. And I have gotten to know many over the years, and many have moved away, and some older ones have passed away. Hopefully, I will be here for a while longer. I mean, when you're 92, each minute is a gift.
我睇到呢個團體係缺乏咗人義工幫手清潔啦。
Generally here at Old St. Mary's, we have a Holy Thursday evening liturgy. Then on Good Friday, we do both in English service and also a service in Cantonese. Deacon Simon, he will lead a service specifically in Cantonese.
That's the most rewarding part, is to help people.
The Paulists, to me, they want to know you. They want to do anything they can for you. They're just like close friends.
It's such a wonderful to have an entry into people's lives.
I think that our parishioners really feel connected to the Paulists and to the ministry that we've done here since 1894.